Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Again, I very much appreciate your attendance this class. This is sohbat, discourses, not lecture, not really very structured way of teaching a class, but it is softly and conveniently taken the subjects, different subjects, and going through that with the soft way of dealing the subject. Earlier we did mazhabs, causes, meanings of mazhabs. Now, quite a weeks, maybe 6-7 weeks, we are doing Tasawwuf Sufism, Islamic Sufism. As I have mentioned earlier, this is literary Sufism, Sufism based on book information. Who said what, which books, Eastern Muslims, also Western non-Muslim Orientalists. I mentioned their names earlier, specifically Louis Massignon, French one, very famous guy in that area, scholar, Orientalist, and fantastic sister, lady, German, Annemarie Schimmel, who passed away some years back, who visited Dallas, visited these faqirs' home sometimes, whom I know myself. I knew him years, I knew her years and years in different conferences, lectures before. Annemarie Schimmel, having specialized in Persian, in Arabic, 2-3 PhDs, young age, maybe she was 19 years old when she had 2 PhDs in different German system, which German scholarship is very strong scholarship, as opposed to English or American scholarship in terms of Orientalism, Islamic studies. Germans are very strong people, go deep and deep and deep, science for science type, not pragmatist that much scholars. So she was fantastic lady, perhaps in Sufism, I would say in West, maybe a century, nobody could match her. 1 century, very she knew Persian, Arabic. I heard her speaking Sindhi language, I don't know one word, in that area, in a conference, international lecture. I saw her knowing, of course, Turkish and other languages. Very, very, very strong scholar, lady, strong in character, strong in understanding. To me, she was Muslim because she really lived for Islamic Sufism, Islam mainly. Her books, anybody who you can find, grab, study, you will see her high quality. This is Annemarie Schimmel, German, originally, but she was teaching in Bonn University, also in Harvard, lately, one semester. So our subject is Tasawwuf, but Tasawwuf scholarly, not common level, Zikr Awrat, a Sufi Sheikh, somewhere in a village, knows a little bit, then Azkar, Evrat, Tezkiye. I touched this subject, very simplistic. He did not read the books of Muhyiddin Arabi. He did not read the books of Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi, Khalid Baghdadi. Doesn't know strong Arabic, doesn't know Persian, because Persian is one of the sources of Sufism. So, like that, but kind of leader somewhere in a village in that area. We have a lot of them in Turkey, a lot of them here. I'm not too much interested in their way of practices, which one needs to appreciate. They are Muslims, they are doing good for society, but very common level, like village level of imam and simplistic way of dealing the issues, not knowing the complexities of philosophy, of the intellectual argument, other side of the story. They don't know. They don't know. Azkar, Evrat, Zikr, they do. Perhaps next week or following week we can conclude this subject. After that I intend to do what is bid'ah, what is sunnah, sunnah bid'ah, same way literary, scholarly, which is also a subject. Everybody says something, means something, accuses each other, so following sunnah, following bid'ah. This is what happened in the past, this is what's happening today. Salafism, Wahhabism, against these, in favor of that. A subject we need to know, Ummah needs to know. So this is for me a good opportunity to be with you, saying a few things in my way, and recording perhaps for future generation. If somebody interested, go deep, check, argue, refute, add, correct. I would be more than happy that is done, because I will be reason for that in that specific area, whether it is refused or rejected, but I caused the person do something meaningful. I will be happy to be instrumental in that area too. That is the thing. I think we already began earlier. Amrad Nafsiya, if I'm not wrong, I wrote earlier here. Amrad, I like Arabic terms used in Quran. Amrad, marad, sickness, plural. Amrad, أمراض نفسية, نفسية, inside psychology, nafs, related with nafs. Sickness is related with nafs, inner or psychology or evil power, nafs. We discussed nafs earlier. How many type of nafs are there? نفس أمارة, نفس مطمئنة, نفس ملهمة, نفس مطمئنة, نفس راضية, نفس مرضية, نفس لوامة, نفس أمارة, نفس لوامة, نفس ملهمة, نفس لوامة, نفس مطمئنة, نفس راضية, نفس مرضية. We discussed earlier, so it is related. مرض, sickness. Okay, we discussed أنا, ego, me, shaitan. This was, I think, we discussed earlier. This is mother of evil. Inside the body, everybody. Nafs, everybody. Each human being has nafs. Each human being has ana. Ana, ananiyat, me, I, ego, egotistic. This is a natural part. Everybody must have, has naturally, but it has also out of control way of going, ananiyat, egotistic way of acting. Me, I. This is the evil. I gave example, I believe, earlier in Sufism. Crashing ana is one of the first things. Ana. People worship ana, their ego, follow their ego. Whatever their ego says, they do. So first thing is to control ana. For that, murshid, a well-trained murshid, silsila, murshid, director, guide, master, Sufi, alim, checks this new murid person, we discussed these terms before, checks if he sees a lot of ana in this guy, first thing he needs to crash, help him crash his ana. I gave example Ibrahim Adham was Malik, ruler, king, something, somewhere. He gave up everything. Then he was involved in murid, becoming murid. Sheikh checked him. He found himself, that person has ego. So, are you ready? Are you sure? Yes. So get these bad-smelling pieces of meat in a cup, walk in the market, sell. Of course, everybody will say, what is this guy? What happened to everybody? I saw myself, a person with like dresses, pieces and pieces like that, torn and having bones with a donkey, two sides, basketeer, donkey, in the middle of market. Bones were even not covered. So he was pushing this thing in the market. I was young. I asked someone why this guy is unusual. I mean, I never saw anything like that before. He said, this is a Sufi guy who has been told to do like that. Of course, Sharia, Deen, Iman, Islam, is it necessary? This is what it is. Sharia, Deen, Iman. Okay, we will discuss somewhere else some of the things. I mentioned earlier in India, mainly also in European part of Muslims, there is Qalendariya mazhab, a tariqah, which people they annihilate themselves, fani, annihilate themselves in nothingness, in Adam. So that is also connected to crash ana. Shaitan became shaitan because of ana. But that ana is existing in everybody. So everybody has some part of shaitan. Shaitanat. Satan. That is why to control that every day. A'udhu billahi minash. How many times we are saying? Why? Why we are saying shaitan, a'udhu. Because shaitan is a timsal of ana. In Quran, shaitan is the one who caused all of us out from Jannah because of ana. He is the one who caused Adam Baba and Hawa out of Jannah. Shaitan manipulated. Why? Because shaitan followed ana. Angels did not follow ana. They did not have ana. They don't have ana. We don't know everything, anything, all the things. I don't know about jinns, about shaitans, and too much. We don't know. I don't know. But Malaks don't have ana. They did sajda to Adam. Shaitan had ana and logic, way of thinking, positivism, developed enlightenment in Europe, Renaissance, that logic. Too much logic, too much rational, too much based on human mind, human way of thinking, not too much caring about what Allah said, what naql transferred from Allah, from Quran, from Hadith, but aql. There are two things, naql. I think this was wrong. Yes, naql. Naqala, transferring. Naqliyat, what said before. In Islam, naqliyat, what Quran says, what Hadith says, what ulama says. Before us, they said, so can you tell me, can you narrate me, where is it, which book? This is naqliyat. Deen is based on naqliyat. Islam is based on naqliyat. But there is something else called aql, mind, brain. Aqliyat, what brain thinks, what mind thinks, aql. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, mentioned in Quran. Aql, to understand the naql, very good. Without aql, we cannot understand Quran, Hadith, nothing. So very good. Quran says, why don't you do aql? Why don't you think deep? So thinking, aql is good. But positivist understanding, Western Renaissance, Enlightenment period in Europe, which has been influenced Muslim countries. Science, what science says, that's it. What you see, that's it. Beyond that, no. Scientific intelligence, God, creation, what are you talking about? Did you see? Can you check in lab? No. Is it experimentable? No. What are you talking about? Aql. That aql, positivist aql, is almost shaitanat. This is what shaitanat did. Shaitan did. So evil. Ana is evil. Ananiyat is evil. That needs to be crushed and controlled. First thing in Sufism. Pay attention. Ana. I show you the example of this lady, Özelsel, Michael, Özelsel, Mikael, somebody that difficult to pronounce, to that German lady who accepted Islam, lived in Istanbul, then studied psychology, German, then came to this country somewhere, North Carolina, did her PhD, then began to lecture in psychology and human behavior and attitudes and things like that. Then she attached herself to a sheikh. Sheikh told her, Murshid, sheikh told her, hey, you need to have chila, 40 days. Then she said, okay. She had 3 children, husband, so something pulled herself away, went to Istanbul somewhere, picked up, put somewhere in a room with a little food, a little water, a little thing, no civilized facilities available, electrical things. Sometimes is there, water is not, sometimes running, sometimes that did not run. So 40 days, zikr, awrad, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, every day, Hu Allah, Ya Jalil, Ya Latif, say it 1,000 times, 100 times, write your memoirs. She wrote her memoirs. Finished. She says, sometimes I remember what my children are doing, then tawbah, astaghfirullah. I went out of the line. I must be always connected to Allah, not remembering something else. No. I breached my promise to Shaykh. Tawbah, astaghfirullah. That type of feeling. You crash in it, then you will see what is happening in your body, what is happening in your heart, what is happening in your brain. So Ana is one of the biggest things we, I think, touched and spoke quite a bit. Okay, now let me move a little bit after touching this subject. Another evil is kibr. This is kibr. 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 Kaf bareh, Allahu Ekber, tekbir, same word, kabura, to be great, to be big, kabir, big, Allahu Akbar, greatest, I mean, like that. But this kibr is more arrogance, mainly in English, I believe, I don't know, but you try to understand me, what I mean. Like the person feels himself out of control, out of line, great, strong, even challenging Allah. I mean, great, strong, arrogant, kibr. Allah does not like people who have kibr, but the person has it. Another word is mukhtal. Mukhtal. In Quran, mukhtal, a person who has kibr. Another word, Inna Allah la yuhibbu kulla mukhtalin fakhur. Allah does not love people who are mukhtal, who have kibr. Allah says in a hadith Qudsi, Al-Kibriya'u, kibr, ridai is my dress, my jubba, my overcoat. Nobody must grab it. But people grab, people challenge even Allah. You see glimpses or small nuances when people speak. They can argue, they can say, what is this tsunami? What did they have these sin or these people who have been dead over there? What is this? Okay, Katrina. Okay, this and that. Why? People sitting here arguing something, destiny. People don't believe in destiny. Or argue, not ready to accept, not submitting, not knowing their level, keeping their level down, jumping up and down. Boy, Allah. It's a sign of kibr. Sign of kibr. Kibr is evil. Shaitan had this ana because of kibr. Ana brought kibr fed ana. I mean, somebody needs to struggle to separate or to draw the line. But kibr. Existing evil. Kibr is in Sufism evil. Kibr. Okay, we passed this kibr. Another word. Let me put one here, put it two here. Ujb. Looks like ujb, I believe. This is ujb. This is ayn. Ujb. This is jim. Ujb. Ujb means literal meaning, a'jabat, mentioned in Quran, a'jabat, husnuhunna, i'jab, ujb is mentioned in Quran. Ujb means like appreciating, like loving, beauty of something, attracting the person, somebody else is beautiful, attracting the person, i'jab, ujb. But here, kibr, ujb. The person is admiring himself. Ujb. Loving himself. Self-esteem. Correct, not correct? You understand me correctly. Forgive my pronunciation. Respect to himself or herself. Admiring, loving what she is doing. Ujb. I'jab. Ujb also is evil. A person, his energy is not from him. His maintenance or whatever, not from him, from Allah. Everything from Allah, not from himself, nothing a person has from himself or from someone else other than Allah. Allah made him able to do, does something good. Then he himself appreciates very much, forgets Allah. We did, alhamdulillah, we did. Ujub. Another word next to ujub. 3, riya. But let me write other thing before, then we will come to riya. Gurur. Other things not to forget, riya. Okay. Ujub. Gurur. Gurur. Gurur is mentioned in Quran. Gharur is shaitan. Gharur is shaitan. But gurur, what shaitan does. وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكَ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ تَقَلُّبُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. Literal meaning of gharara is to cheat, to betray. This is the literal meaning. But here, in this context, the person is cheating himself. The person is deceiving himself, doing small things, thinking that those are big things. I mentioned many times, but I like, it's called literary way of education. Habba. Habba means grain. Like small grain, wheat, grain. Habba, qubba. Qubba means dome. Qubba. Dome. Small bubble, the guy thinks it is like so big dome or something like that. Making habba qubba. No, sir. Habba is habba, qubba is qubba. Nobody must say or see something popped up, inflated. Gurur. Nobody must make his small thing big thing. Actually, the person is deceived in a utopic imaginary atmosphere in his brain, in his mind, thinking that he is doing very well. Actually, he is cheating himself by being satisfied with those things which is not satisfactory in reality, and making himself pushed into hell. Let me touch to another concept. Zulm. 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 Zulm, like oppressing, suppressing in English. Zalim, oppressor, suppressor. But, I mean, in English may mean anything. So, but in Islam it is zulm. Kufr is zulm, disbelief. Kafirs are zalims. Fasiqs are zalims. Injustices is zulm. Wrongdoing is zulm. hurting someone is zulm. I mean, zulm, zulm, zulm. A person can do zulm to himself. If somebody is not praying namaz, he is doing zulm to himself. Injustice, wrong, wronging, wrong, doing wrong to himself. A person lying, doing zulm. Doing something else sinful, he is doing zulm. Injustice, wrong, doing wrong to himself, meaning he is pushing himself to Jahannam, to sin. Any person who is doing sin, small, big, whatever, he is zalim. He is doing wrong to himself. He is doing injustices to himself. So zalim is not something zulm done to other persons only or other things only. To be person who is not obeying Allah is doing zulm to himself. Quran says, وَلَا تَظْلِمُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't do zulm to yourself. Not that much, only. Let me have a little space here. Quran says, Wala, let me write. Wala, it is good to memorize. We are Muslims. تظلموا أنفسكم. Don't do zulm to yourselves. So somebody can do zulm to himself. This is one. To himself, to others, zulm, zulm, zulm. But there is another fantastic principle Ummah, did not forget perhaps, but we don't observe, unfortunately, I believe. This is very big principle. Wala, not. Tarkanu. Lean. Leaning. Wala tamilu. Going to that direction. Flowing to that direction. Wala tarkanu. Ila, to allazina, those who zalamu, did zulm. Here, don't do zulm to you, don't do zulm to others, okay? Here, wala tarkanu, one must memorize these fantastic principles. Wala tarkanu, don't do rukun. What is that rukun? Like leaning to, inclined to. Rakana, rukun. Illa to allazina, those who zalamu. Those who do zulm, don't be supporter them. Fantastic. Don't be supporter of people who do zulm. Injustice, wrong, not Islam. Where are they? Is this principle obeyed in this world today? I don't think so. In political sense, not at all. Not in Egypt, not in Hind, not in Yemen, not in Turan. We have a proverb in Turkish like that. In nowhere, nobody is doing like that. Not in Pakistan, not in Turkey, not everybody. Kakun, 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 kakun. Parties. My man, his man, his military, his man, his man, his man. Who is applying real justice, real fairness, kindness in his wherever parties and organizations, and who is... I read... Time, okay. I read time. Okay. Years before, pyramid. I read a book. Somebody did a big research, I think in this country. That book I read, I think about 50 years ago in Turkey. Somebody did a research. Who has chance to climb up in any company, in any state organization, in any organization? Who? So there are hundreds of people here. Some of them will be staying here, some of them will go up in this. Who? The one who are more obedient to the people who will pull them up. Maybe hardworking, maybe, but nobody will pull a person up next to him or up if he is not totally obedient to him. Nobody. So this person here, they will go up, obedient, up. So there is the others will be out, the others will be out, the others will be out. So climbing up is hypocritical. Smile, show, get friendly, you are pulled up. So you also will be doing the same thing, down or up. So corruption. Corruption is the rule. Climbing up, the more corrupted, the more you are up. The more adjusted, the more you are up. I am afraid that is what it is in Muslim world everywhere. But this is zulm. Injustice. Injustice, no injustice. Injustice, no injustice. Zulm. وَلَا تَرْكَنُوا. Don't incline, don't be inclined, don't be supported, don't be around, don't be. إِلَى الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا. That is why Imam Azam, when he did not give fatwa, they put him in jail, they beat him up, he stood as is, no problem. There is a problem, but this worldly problem. In the hereafter, no problem. Ahmed ibn Hanbal, Mihna, suffered a lot. That is why Sarakhsi, one of the greatest scholar, fuqaha, volumes, there is no book bigger than his book, fiqh. Ask the fatwa, 400, maybe 480 something, 80 Islamic date. He lived in Sarakhs, very interesting, a village between Iran and Russia now. And very interesting, just to mention, Dr. Khan, what is his other name, internal, our friend here, Khurshid Khan, I just said, Khurshid Khan, once he was saying something, he said, I was in Sarakhs. I said, what Sarakhs? What Sarakhs? Did you say Sarakhs? Yeah. I mean, he was saying something. I said, okay, you finish your story, I will ask you more questions. Did you, Sarakhs, where is it? So he said, in Iran. And what you were doing? He said, first year of medical something, he was there. I said, is there a hospital over there? Are there people living over there? Because I could not go, I did not visit. This is my PhD area. Sarakhsi, a scholar, Sarakhsi is from there. So I learned that he was there, he served in that area. He said, maybe 5 miles, Russian border, this Iranian border, it is here. There were hospital, there was hospital, I was there. Sarakhs. Now, Sarakhs story. I am very happy hearing that from him. But coming back to Sarakhsi, he was asked a fatwa about a marriage by ruler, king, or someone. He said, no, not in Islam is not possible. What are you talking about? Yes, possible, not possible. They put him in jail. That jail was a castle, military, a well, like, or deep ditch, no water, thanks to Allah. So they put him there. He was sitting over there. But king ruler allowed students to come. Top of the ditch or well, no water. He did not have books. Students were shouting from above, reading a text to him. He was making comments, explanation. They took note that book. And his book is sharh, commentary of books written by Abu Hanifa's student, Imam Muhammad. If he had not given us these explanations, we could never understand those texts, because those texts was so brief, so concise, so closed, brief. One needs to explain. He did. This Hanafism and Islamic law, fiqh, owes to him almost everything. But where he was? In ditch. Why? وَلَا تَرْكَنُوا إِلَى الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا. Don't support zulm. He understood that way. I'm not going to bow to sell my religion for something, or to sell my knowledge for something, because king, ruler want to manipulate something. So, coming back, ghurur, deceiving himself, herself, deception, living in a bubble, thinking that he is doing well. Oh, mashallah. Could be a little difficult to separate between ujb and ghurur. I don't know either too much, but these are different terms used in Quran. So I am just touching a little bit, saying a little what I feel I know, hopefully correct. But these are Islamic terminologies, but lived by the person. Definitely in Sufism, all words mean nothing. My lecture means nothing, because it is word. You live in Sufism. What was the definition of Sufism? One of the 100 definitions. There are 100 definitions of Sufism. One of the important definitions is what? Sufism is not qal, it is hal. Not qal, said, no saying. Hal, living in. You live in. Experience, come. I said before, but just to explain. I met a sister, forgot her name, very nice sister, accepted Islam, married to an Iranian. Did her PhD, this is 15 years ago, maybe 15, 16 years ago, in Austin, Arabic, Middle Eastern Language Department. She did her PhD. She knew very strongly Persian, very interesting lady, married to an Iranian. She told me that she practiced a little bit Sufism here and there. She went to library somewhere, closed her eyes, did Ya Latif, Ya Rizq, Ya Latif, Ya Hakim, Ya Latif, Ya Hakim. I mean, I'm just explaining what I feel, she said. Then she said, I felt like paradise, like green, like I am flying. Very good. Alhamdulillah. I never felt anything like that in my life. You live in, then you say it, don't say it. Swallow. Because it is not sayable, it is not tellable. Sufism is hal. وَلَا تَرْكَنُوا إِلَى الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا. Don't do rukn. Ghurur. I think we will live here in Riyadh. We will continue next week, inshallah, from that part.